Welcome to Big Show Entertainment Network, Super Dave Raines and the Big Show, special event on location at MileHi Con 2016 in Denver at the Hyatt Regency. I'm here with Stant, and it's Litore. So, wow, that's a mouthful. I'm here with Stant Litore, author, and Stant, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for coming on. I'm excited. So tell me about your work.
All right, well, I do... do I hold this? Do you hold?
Yeah,
okay, cool. I do sci-fi, fantasy, horror. Probably best known for a couple of series, The Zombie Bible, which is a bit like The Living Dead thousands of years ago. Well, it's 5 in 1. This whole series in one omnibus.
Wow.
5 books so far. So think of The Living Dead thousands of years ago in the ancient world. Bronze Age, Iron Age, prophets and warriors and saints wrestling with the hungry dead.
Right.
I also do the Ansible series.
I can help you out.
Oh, thank you. Ansible is about 25th century explorers from the Islamic world who transfer their minds across space and time to make first contact. They get marooned in alien bodies on alien worlds.
Wow.
And then the running of the Tyrannosaurs I describe as a bit like the Hunger Games meets Jurassic Park in space, where young athletes compete on orbital coliseums for Tyrannosaurs in a world of the entertainment industry gone to ridiculous extremes. Not that would ever happen, but there you go.
So is it kind of a Roman gladiator?
Very much like that, yes. Very much like the Roman circus. Very bloody, very competitive, very high adrenaline. Also, while there's a ton of Tyrannosaurs in it and the story's very high adrenaline, it's also very sad because the young athlete who's telling you the story is waking up to the extent to which he's been isolated from other people and the extent to which he's been brainwashed and manipulated and trained for this life that is lived entirely under the cameras.
Wow. So yeah, it is kind of like Hunger Games, but I would say it's more of a gladiator theme.
Yes.
Which I think Hunger Games draws off that. So wow, that's amazing. So how many books have you written?
Let's see, 9 works of fiction. I've been at this for some time, and then 2 works of nonfiction, including a toolkit for writers.
Right. Awesome. So is this? So you've written a lot. So I take it this is not your first con.
Oh, no. I've been coming to conventions, including MileHi Con, for many years. Ironically, though, when I first started publishing years ago, it was a number of years before I attended cons. Because at the time, my wife and I were having our second daughter, and she had a lot of health complications. We were in the hospital a lot. So I mostly hunkered down at home for the first few years that I was publishing.
Right.
And then I popped up one day, and everyone got to meet me, and I got to meet everybody, found out what a wonderful community we have at the cons.
Right, yeah, absolutely. So let me ask you this. Who inspired you to write?
Oh, wow. I have no idea. I just... I've always been in love with stories. And, when I was 3 or 4, my dad had this appliance repair store, and I would be hanging out there all day back before kindergarten. And my babysitter would cut up these strips of paper and hand me these big strips and medium strips and little strips and say, go draw. So I would go draw stories, almost like comic panels. I would make a whole story on these. And I thought that I was spending hours and hours and hours and a whole afternoon telling these stories and pictures. And I take it back to my babysitter and say, all right, I need to do the next chapter. Can you cut more paper? And she's like, I just gave you that 5 minutes ago. And so it never wore off. I've been telling stories ever since. But I mean, as a kid, I was devouring all the fantasy and sci-fi I could get my hands on. 2nd grade on the bus, reading Gandalf and the Balrog and the Fellowship of the Ring.
Absolutely.
5th grade, reading Dune, and I just devoured imaginative stories.
Wow, that's cool. Speaking of, I'm a big sci-fi and fantasy guy, and Super Dave Raines and the Big Show is really a show about movies and shows, and we do special events. So did you ever play Middle Earth role playing?
That depends on what you're asking about. I have 2 answers. When I was a teenager, not a kid, but when I was a teenager, there used to be all these Middle Earth RPG books that I would buy. Do you remember those?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, man, I used to burn through those. And then when I met my when I married my wife, she is a hardcore gamer, loves MMORPGs, has a PS4, and her favorite MMORPG is Lord of the Rings Online.
Oh, wow.
So we'll meet up there and go fight orcs at Helm's Deep pretty often.
Wow, that is really cool. So, let me ask you, C.S. Lewis, J.R.R. Tolkien, or J.K. Rowling?
See, I thought where that was going was you're going to say they walk into a bar.
They might have. I think C.S. Lewis and Tolkien were best friends. So.
For some time, yeah. Of the three, I would say Tolkien.
Yeah. That's a good answer. I'm a big Tolkien fan, but the popular answer over the last 2 days has been J.K. Rowling. So
I'm not surprised. I have a lot of respect for what she's done.
Absolutely. So, speaking of J.K. Rowling and in the fantasy realm, we've got some great movies coming out. First, let me ask you, Marvel or DC?
Oh, that is a tough question. I have answered that differently depending on the year. Here's the thing. Marvel, hands down, has got the best universe, the most creativity, and just they have a real sense of play. DC has the best characters.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, they have the best characters.
Yeah, Superman, Batman. Actually, I think Superman. I'm a big Superman guy. Super Dave is a big show.
And let's be honest, they have to get somebody who can write movies, but they've got the best characters.
Well, maybe they should. I think DC and Warner Brothers should hire you, because that seems to be the problem, is their writing and their editing. So I agree. DC does have the best characters. Let's see. Let me ask you, Star Wars or Star Trek?
Oh, that is so not a fair question. Both, but that sounds like a cop-out answer, doesn't it?
Right? No.
Both. I mean, it just depends. Am I in the mood for space exploration, or am I in the mood for space opera?
Right.
I will say Star Wars was my first love.
Yeah,
like when I was a kid when my dad took me to the little corner shop movie theater that just had 2 rooms in my small town. I saw Return of the Jedi, and I was young enough when I saw Return of the Jedi that at Yoda's death scene, I thought it was Oscar the Grouch dying.
Wow.
It just hit me in the heart.
Yeah.
There was Oscar, and then he vanished. And but the images of Vader and the Death Star and everything, and the lightsabers stuck with me. So, it just like imprinted on my child brain at a young age. Star Wars was my first love. But I probably have watched Star Trek far more often. So my answer still is both.
Right. Awesome. Yeah, I definitely can relate to that. Star Wars changed my life.
That's saying something amazing.
Yeah, it really did. So, so where did you grow up? You mentioned growing up in a small town.
I grew up in a small town in Puget Sound, Washington State.
Oh, cool.
Beautiful, beautiful place. I've lived in Colorado here for a decade and a half, but thinking about Puget Sound, if you drive 30 minutes in one direction, you're at the ocean. An hour in the other direction, you're way up in the mountains. Yeah. Beautiful country.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let me ask you about this week is Doctor Strange week with Benedict Cumberbatch. That comes out on Thursday. And then on the 7th of November, the tickets for Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, go on sale. So, what do you think about Doctor Strange?
No opinion, because I haven't gotten to see it yet.
Right.
I've been very hunkered down editing and recovering from bronchitis lately, honestly. But I will say I am simultaneously excited to see the movie and see what they do with it, and also a little perturbed at the same time, because I am one of those viewers that's very sensitive to the fact that every movie we have that has an Asian character in it lately has an all-white cast.
Right. That seems to be a big controversy.
Yeah, I mean, I'm double-minded about it, because of course I think Benedict Cumberbatch and Tilda Swinton both are among the best actors out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I also know of so many incredible Asian actors that are just not getting cast for anything. So that's a personal frustration to me. But but I certainly am interested to see what they do with the movie. I'm really excited for Rogue One, and hoping.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'll say that.
Yeah, absolutely. Very excited for that. So, what is next for you? What do you got coming up next? And Or will you be at Rocky Mountain Con next week?
I won't be at Rocky Mountain Con. I've been doing weekly events for a few weeks, and so my kids are missing me badly. So I will be hunkered down. I will miss it this year, unfortunately. Probably catch another one. As far as what's next for me, more Tyrannosaurs, actually. Right now, I am working on Tyrannosaurs in the Sky, which is a novel about a young athlete who is stranded on the orbital conservatory world where the genetically engineered tyrannosaurs are grown.
Right.
And it's a bit of a Robinson Crusoe meets Jurassic Park, but she has all her life had her memories suppressed. Her memories of her childhood suppressed as she's trained, and when she is separated from her trainers and she is surviving on this rainforest world, and hunting and surviving and constructing shelters for herself, her memories come back.
Right.
And she has to rediscover and remake who she is. And I'm really excited about that story. It'll probably be released before next summer, and I'm just working on the last stages of the manuscript now. So it's just incredible fun to write, to take this story in this world I've been exploring and go now to this orbital artificial world that is a not lost world, a world everybody knows about, where there's dinosaurs everywhere and where this particular character gets to rediscover herself. That's exciting to me.
Right. Awesome. Let me ask you, you said your wife's a big gamer. Which one of your books do you think would best translate into a game?
Oh man, that's probably easy. I mean, it'd be the running of the Tyrannosaurs. I mean, I'd have to deal with the fact that several fans have come up to me at this convention and let me know that there actually is a dinosaur gladiator game. I never knew this, Dino Crisis 3, so I need to look this up. But no question, a Coliseum with Tyrannosaurs would translate best to the gaming world.
Wow. Awesome. Well, maybe we can get that on Big Show Games and Tech Toys. So, yeah, absolutely. I'll have to get with JB, the host of Big Show Games and Tech Toys. Well, let me ask you one last question.
One last question, okay. This is the big question, right?
Semi-big.
Okay.
So, what do you think about the upcoming Guardians of the Galaxy 2?
I'd say cautiously optimistic, and really wanting to see that raccoon back in action.
Yeah, Rocket. I want to get a baby Groot. So
Is it like fake? Is it made up, or is there actually like a still of Rocket with baby Groot hanging out over his shoulder?
I am not sure. I think it's real. It's real. Yeah, it's really cool.
So Rocket with a gun and baby Groot on his shoulder. You just can't beat that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I'll be honest. I have a simultaneous. So every time Marvel makes a movie, I simultaneously have this wave of excitement and this trepidation. So that's why I say cautiously optimistic. But Rocket and baby Groot. Hopefully, there's no way it can go wrong. We'll see.
Absolutely. Well, Stant, thank you so much for coming on Big Show Entertainment Network. Super Dave Raines and the Big Show special event at MileHi Con 2016. It's been a pleasure. We look forward to following your career. Folks, make sure you buy his books. And for Stant Litore, is that right?
Yeah, you got it right.
I'm Super Dave Raines, and until next time, own the love.